you can't make it private for a short time. Oh my god, why are you sad? I feel upset now because Ian's upset. No, I feel sad because Ian's sad. I feel sad because Ian's sad. I can't be happy if Ian's upset. Sorry everyone. That's not bad. Welcome back everybody, we are here for the final race of the evening here at Motive for the GT4 Championship here tonight at Fuji. Tonight it's round 4, this is race 12 of the season. This is, obviously tonight's race is 10, 11 and 12 of this season, and this is the reverse grid based on the results from race 2 which we had a few moments ago. Ian, we've had some up and down racing here tonight for these races, but surely we've got to go out with a bang and see some cracking action to round off the evening.
Well, we can only hope. So, just need to strap in, start our engines, and
get
hope
going.
that hopefully that everyone's clean coming out of turn 1.
Indeed. Well, it's obviously going to be a little while until that gets underway because we've got a formation lap coming up first, and the sun is setting now, so that means that it's going to be a little bit colder, both the air and the track temperature. So the formation lap could be even more of a hindrance than usual. with the temperatures being so low, which could be affecting grip at the beginning of the race. So even more so than earlier on when we were talking in the first race, Ian, it's going to be really crucial here, the tyre warm-up.
Yeah, especially given now the sun is set, and the track is going to be a lot harder to keep the temperature in those tyres. Especially the more that you go in a straight line, the less heat you'll have. But right now, it's all down to these drivers to make sure that they have their tyres set to where either close or where they want them to be. So it's just down to them. But it's interesting to see that Mustang.
Oh, is he? No way.
Yeah.
That's ballsy.
Yeah, I've driven the Mustang in campaign a few times. It sounds beautiful, and it actually handles pretty well.
I've never driven the Mustang. The only Mustang I've driven on Project Cars 2 is the Mustang Boss, which we drove. Well, actually, we didn't do it at Motive. We did it in Rubbings Racing in the. So it was basically the same as the Splash and Dash. It's where I got the idea for the Splash and Dash from. There was an event called the Dash for Cash about a year before the Splash and Dash, and that was done with the Mustang buses.
You know what to do? Quickly, just change the audio mix to go to the game fully. Then you'll be able to hear that car. Honestly.
One sec. Oh yeah, that's something to behold. That is, yeah. Right, let's move it back. I noticed that the differential between the party and the game was really, really heavily towards the party there. So you probably haven't been able to hear the cars all evening. But Pot the Brown has had a horror show of a start. He's already down to the back of the pack, so he's let everybody through. And he's in the pits on the restart, so that's gone a nightmare there for him. But Big Blue leads into turn one with Doris Steer on the back of him. As Doris is now looking to the inside here into turn one. Is he going to make that move? He is going to make the move for the lead of the race. So Doris Steer leads us coming out of turn one. And Big Blue there tucks in behind him for the time being, as we've got Mike there in third ahead of Nick, who's trying to defend from Smoky Devil at the moment. You've got Aussie there running in P6 ahead of Craig. And we've got side by side here between Park Pooper and John Boy's. John Boy's trying to go around the outside of Park Pooper into turn two. Is he going to have that one done? Park Pooper trying to hold himself there on the inside. John Boy there will have the inside for turn three. This never-ending right-hander, and John Boy's going to have that one back there into 8th place. As Cobb there moving through ahead of Totally Zero up into 10th. But Pot the Brown coming out of the pits in P12 on this first lap. And yeah, I don't really know what's gone on there, but clearly an incident on the formation lap which has caused him damage. And down to the back he goes, and with that his chances of a good result. But Mike here down here, inside a Big Blue into the chicane, has had a horror show night so far as Mike, but he seems to be having a better final race of the night as he pulls the move there on Big Blue up into second place. As Nick Livilla there in the background on fourth place out of Smokey, and we've got a big cluster of cars battling here at the back here. You've got Cobb there who's just ahead of Park Pooper and Totally Zero. And Park Pooper there goes a little bit deep. That might allow Totally Zero to have a bit of a run on him here. Park Pooper's had a cracking night so far, but is now at risk from being overtaken by our very late standing, only for the final race of the night, Totally Zero. As I can hear Ian turning his room over in the background there.
Sausage rolls.
Oh, he's not. He's opening a pack of sausage rolls. Do apologise. So obviously we're at that point in the evening where the final race, it's kind of like a who cares at this point, fuck it kind of race.
I forgot the fun fact.
Unofficially. But John Boy looking at the inside. What's your fun fact?
About the NASCAR, the Japanese NASCAR series.
Oh, sorry, Ian. Sorry to butt in. Doris Steers dropped down to 8th place, so he was leading and he's down in 8th. What's going on here with him? So Doris Steer there, dropping down the order, and Mike now leads this race. Sorry, I'll let you carry on with your fun fact now, mate. Sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. It's in relation to the Japanese NASCAR series. The track was actually initially designed to only host. The track was only meant to host the NASCAR races. That's what the whole track was designed for.
So was there a speedway? I mean, was there like an oval or anything like
The
that?
track, yeah, where turn one was, what is right now, it'll just continue on and it'll just go round and round.
Oh! There's a big crash there. Smoky Devil gets punted. Was that Smoky was punted while it was? And he's rejoined the track back where he was again. And Big Blue there flashing his lights saying, come on, mate, you've lost no time there. That's ridiculous. How can you just get away with scot-free with that? That's absolutely outrageous. That's not fair, says Big Blue. But Smoky there continues on his merry way like nothing happened. Big Blue not happy at all. You can see they're flashing his lights. Going very late on the brakes, closing up onto the back of Smoky here as they come out onto the start-finish. And Big Blue there weaving around a little bit. He punted, well to be fair, he did punt Smoky a little bit. So you can kind of understand why Smoky's felt that he was entitled to hold on to the position.
Yeah.
Nick's still ahead of Aussie in the meantime in fourth as John Boy's cleared Craig into P6. But they're still battling. You can see Doris Deer actually getting ahead of Craig here down the start-finish straight. And Doris Deer might be able to move ahead of John Boy as well. So Doris Deer fighting back after a difficult last lap. He's now moving down the inside of John Boy. John Boy trying to hold it around the outside here. John Boy has managed to keep the momentum and should have the inside and the position going into turn 2. And that should be P6 now for John Boy, you would think. But they're still running quite close. But yeah, John Boy does get that move done going through turn 2 as Doris a bit wide. Craig looking around the outside. Doris onto the grass a little bit there. That will have affected his momentum significantly as Craig now looking around the outside. He'll have the inside for this next left-hander. Is he going to look to send it? No, can't do it. Cobb just waiting in the wings behind these drivers. But John Boy now trying to break away from this pack of cars. He's currently 7 seconds off for the lead. And he's currently only 2 seconds off for a podium place. As Smokey's moved ahead of Aussie up into 3rd. But yeah, still Big Blue leading this train of cars. But it could quickly become an 8-car train here, battling over second, because currently only 4 seconds separating from second all the way down to 9th place.
Well, right now that's just tosses everything up. Oh!
Oh! Aussie Albi there spinning out, going into the penultimate corner, yeah, going into nets. He's down to 9th place now, is Aussie Albi, so he's had a very unfortunate moment there.
With everyone from Craig all the way up to P2, it definitely throws it up into the air for anybody to be able to get a podium at this point.
Definitely does. It's about, I think, survival in this race. It's got to be. John Boy's now ahead of Nick, so John Boy's into 4th, now chasing down a podium place. In the background here, you've got Craig down the inside of Cobb into 7th place, and that's job done there for him. So lots of position changes going on right now. Mike, in the meantime, really making up for his horror show in the first 2 races of the night. He's currently clearing away here out the front. He's got 6 seconds of a gap over Big Blue and is cruising by the looks of it. John Boy here trying to make a move on Smokey. He's going to go all the way around the long way here of turn 3. And he will have the inside for turn 4. Smokey trying to squeeze into the edge of the track, but John Boy has it still there. And he's going to complete that manoeuvre up into 3rd place.
Very nicely done. Kept his head. Oh, you knew what he had to do. He put his car right in the middle of the, right onto the inside of that corner, and he knew that with how far along he was, that Smokey there would have had to concede the place.
Smokey's now got heavy pressure from behind as well with Nick and Doris and Craig. They're all queuing up here behind Smokey Devil. John Boy's trying to break away from this pack now and go after Big Blue, who's made a bit of a break for it in 2nd, but he's not really closing the gap to Mike. Well, he isn't closing the gap to Mike at all. Mike is 6 seconds clear and lapping 2 seconds a lap quicker at the moment. But Big Blue could potentially be under heavy pressure from John Boy in a few moments' time. You've got Smokey there, still keeping this train of cars behind him, but Nick's currently leading the chasing pack here behind Smokey. These guys are a long way clear of Aussie, who made his mistake at the end of lap 1. Part Pooper not having the final race of the night at all. He's had a cracker of a night so far, a 1st and a 3rd, but looks like his good run is going to come to an end here in this final race of the night. Totally zero.
Well, I'm very surprised that that Mustang hasn't made more places on the straights.
Yeah, it's just a handful, isn't it? Down those straight,
yeah.
Through those corners, should I say?
are back to the fun fact while we're quiet. The track initially opened in 1963, but during that time is when NASCAR, well, the people behind the NASCAR Japanese series was wanting to use. That's what the track was meant to be used for. It wasn't meant to be used for GT racing or anything other than those NASCARs. So it wasn't. It's just they didn't have enough money to complete the project. So then they just had to cut off the entire oval and create Turn 1 into pretty much what it is today.
Yeah, because it's been the same for ages, hasn't it? I mean, I don't know if I'm using a sort of incorrect reference point by using this, but if you watch the film Rush, they raced at Fuji in the last race of the season, and Turn 1 looks very similar. I mean, it's sort of like a slow. It's a fast hairpin, kind of, isn't it?
Yeah. So that was. Rush was like 70s, late 70s.
Mid-70s, yeah.
Yeah, mid-70s, yeah, and it was used in the 1974 to 1983 layout. So it was, and there is that turn 1 in that, for that configuration, is pretty similar to the layout that we have today. The track isn't actually overall all that different back then compared to what it is now. There is an extra, like, 4 or 5 corners, like Dunlop isn't in that one. That was just a bit more of a sweeping right-hander onto the start-finish straight.
Yeah, I've just got to mention here, John Boyd made his way into second place, so he did Big Blue down the start-finish straight, and now he's into clean air, but he's a long way behind Mike, as we see a send-it manoeuvre there from Cobb up the inside of Smoky Devil, and he makes it stick there into 4th place, so Cobb there saw a gap and went for it, and that was an absolutely fantastic manoeuvre there down the inside, as Craig now trying to hold on, or capitalise on Smokey being maybe a bit, trying to regain a position on Cobb, and he might be vulnerable now to Craig. But Cobb there with a really good overtake. I remember making a move there myself through that corner in the GT3s on, I'm talking about unorthodox in the wet, which is a move that I was very proud of. But Aussie and Park over here, side by side, going into the final section of the lap. But Aussie stays ahead for the time being.
It seems like this is going to be apart from any major off-track incursions, this seems like this might be our finishing order.
Certainly looks like it. Mike leads by 7 seconds here on the final lap of the race. John Boy looking comfortable there in that P2, well clear of Big Blue. This race has gone by in a flash, to be honest with you. Can't believe it's the last lap already. But Craig here, looking at the inside, Smokey holding it around the outside. Craig getting a decent enough exit. Smokey though's got some momentum here, and we'll have the inside also for turn 2. But tucks in, I think. Oh no, he's still there. Craig gets it done. Up into P5 there for Craig. But yeah, this race has pretty much just been and gone before we could even really get into it. And honest, it feels like it's just starting to warm up.
Oh, Nick's in the pits.
Oh no. Oh, he's got a missing light. And a very battered up front end of that Janetta. But here comes Mike into the final few corners. Mike, our 4-time champion of the Clear Cup and our 3-time champion of the Touring Cars. He's a 7-time champion here at Motive Racing. He's had a horror show of a night here at Fuji. Was pretty much nowhere to be seen in the first race. The second race, he had flashes of, I guess, his usual self, but still not really where we're used to seeing him. But in this final race of the night, he's really come good here. Mike has been lapping consistently in the 146s. As he comes up towards the line, he's going to take the checkered flag, and somewhat of normal service resumed here for him as he comes over the line here to round off the evening with a good result. John Boy, second place in this one. He's the highest point scorer, I think, tonight. There's no doubt. And he comes over to take P2. Big Blue, flash the lights from him, completes the podium. A good drive here from Big Blue. Cobb over in 4th ahead of Craig, who takes P5 ahead of Smokey in 6th in the end. Park Pooper will finish this one in 7th place, just ahead of Aussie Alvey, who comes over in 8th. Totally Zero, what a drive from him. Considering he didn't race in the first 2 races of the night. P9, only about 20 seconds off of the winner. So what a job from him. Nick in the pits, so he's just coming out of the pits now. Pot the Brown coming out of the final corner. It's going to be a P10 here for Pot the Brown. After a solid first couple of races, it's not really been the final race of the evening he would have wanted. Doris Deer, well, I think tonight's been a night to forget for Doris Deer, if I'm honest. I think he'll be glad to see the back of Fuji, but Pot the Brown over to take P10, Doris Deer 11th, and that is that then for tonight's action here at Motive for the GT4 Championship Round 4 of this 15 round season here. And it's Mike, John Boy and Big Blue, your podium finishers for the final race of the night. Cameron in the comments saying evening Cameron, one of our F1 races on a Friday night. Also fellow Scotsman Iain,
Hey.
which you were all over on Friday. But Tony Zero says, America conquers Japan, good race. GG's, absolutely, I couldn't agree more. That is that then guys for tonight's action here for the GT4s. We will see you in the next one. The GT4s will be live at the same place as always, same time as always, 8:30 p.m. UK time next week. We will be, we'll be live at Rapuna Park next week in New Zealand. That's going to be a very exciting race. It's a tight and twisty circuit. Straight line speed not really a thing, so the Ginetta, I reckon, probably going to have a field day.
Yeah.
But yeah, join us then, guys. Also, join us on Thursday night. We're back for the touring cars. As always on Project Cars 2, we'll be at Snetterton. No, sorry, the Nürburgring for Thursday night. Nürburgring GP for the touring cars. Friday night for the F1. We'll be back for round 10 of the season. Coming towards the business end of the season for the F1. Well past the halfway point now in the season. And it'll be a sprint race actually. Monza for the Italian Grand Prix. And then Sunday night for the GT3 Championship on Assetto Corsa Competizione will be at Nürburgring again. So 2 races at Nürburgring this week. That'll be exciting. Join us then. But thanks everybody once again. Iain, pleasure as always.
Absolute pleasure, and thank you everyone that kept coming in the chat.
Thank you, and we'll see you later.
Good night.